Okay, many law students I speak to are in a phase where they are exploring, waiting to figure out which area of law interests them. Some of them identify maybe an area, a subject they studied in first year, second year, could be constitutional law, could be family law, which they identify as your area of interest. Now, sometimes they like certain subjects, but they're not very clear that which is the area in which they should pursue their career in. That remains a big and open question for them. So I'm going to share a few pointers on how this can be done. First point is that when you are undertaking a study in law, you are acquiring certain skills. You will learn how to draft. You will learn how to, you may not learn how to draft in college, but that's the skill expected of a lawyer. You will learn how to read and understand the statute. You will learn how to dig out cases, interpret what they are saying, and read it with the and then identify the correct position of law. Okay, these are, let's say, 3 basic skills that you learn or you are expected to learn as a lawyer. Now, these skills are subject agnostic. It doesn't matter which subject you choose. It doesn't matter. There is going to be no inherent subject which will pull you towards this. If you choose, let's say, family law or constitutional law as an area of interest, that may be because you are intuitively able to understand that subject more easily than, let's say, company law, which is more abstract. But very soon, you will, if somebody explains company law also better to you, you will realize that the actual thing at play is again very similar. You are looking at the same fundamental skills, looking at a provision of law or regulation, or looking at a document of a client and then interpreting it. Okay, or you are drafting something. Now, we will add one more layer to it, which is actually understanding what a client wants or what the interests of different participants are. Now, whether you are a human rights lawyer or a business lawyer, again, you will be taking care of this. So, in the end, what really matters and what people decide to be their area of interest is either they are getting appreciated for something or doing really well in something. Let's say they go to a international moot pertaining to refugee law or international human rights and media law, and they get an award for it, or they won in that subject because of in some intra-university moot. So that gets you additional appreciation, validation, and you are basically in your mind, taking these small challenges and completing them and winning them. That actually excites you, and then that's how you decide that this is my area of interest. But here I am talking to you to open this up, to let you know that actually there is any area of law can be your area of interest. And when I was in my 3rd year at law school, it was really interesting that I was going for one paper presentation on space law. I was going for another moot, which was on human rights. And our regular law subjects were very different. And in our intra-university moots, I had participated in a corporate law moot for our selections. So there is a lot of variation, and I was thinking that how is this happening? That how am I able to sort of find my interest in all these areas? And the reason was because at its heart, each of the law subjects had a similar skill which was required. So what does this mean for you? If you can afford to be interested and find a liking for any area of law, then how do you go about identifying which area to specialize in? For that, you should look at the areas where there is an opportunity and where people need lawyers, but lawyers don't exist to serve those needs. Okay, for example, there could be an opportunity in your district for a certain kind of lawyer, or a lot of lawyers don't take up as a matter of choice matrimonial laws. Okay, they do not take up, let's say, divorce and alimony related work. They may not. Okay, for various reasons. I don't know. I'm not going to get into it. But another set could be that there are a lot of lawyers there may be a lot of gap for serving the needs that startups face at an affordable cost and for productifying these kind of services. By productifying, I mean you don't want to always manually serve a client. You want to introduce some technological innovation so that the lawyer can focus on the mental aspect of it most of the time, whereas the repeatable tasks are standardized by technology. Okay, so now identifying what kind of solution a client wants is something that you can focus on. So your interest which you pursue has to be based on where are the gaps. IBC is another area where there is a big open field and lawyers are rushing to get into it, but because the field is continuously developing, there is still a lot of scope for new entrants to come in and start acting for clients. Okay, so now based on this, I want you to think again and identify that which are the areas of interest that you are going to pursue. So first step will be that you'll have to identify where are the opportunities. Which fields of law have that opportunity? What is expected of lawyers by clients? Another example is that there are HR managers, there are procurement managers, contract managers in many companies who do not have legal training. They are not lawyers by qualification. And those companies sometimes don't have adequate in-house legal teams. They may not have also legal teams at all. But these are companies which are doing well and regularly entering into contracts with different kinds of government and private entities, and they frequently go into dispute. So they need assistance with their drafting and negotiation of contracts as well as training of their contract managers. So use this as an example, and you can share which areas of law you want to pursue your interest in or explore to identify deeper. All the best.